Are you ready to find out how to use AI to communicate better with your clients, especially as a virtual assistant? In this video, I'm going to dive through the different ways you can use either ChatGPT, Claude, or any sort of AI that generates text, basically, on using it, on how to upgrade how you talk and communicate with your client. Now, it is no secret that the biggest advantage that AI does give us, especially as someone who has English as a third or fourth language, is that it has kind of helped us speak in English a little bit easier and better. In fact, I have a client right now for my AI consulting where she is speaking in German, more fluently, of course, in English. And when we're working back and forth, she sends me the document in German, I translate it in English for myself, and then I give it back to her in German as well, all with the use of ChatGPT. So that's one of the examples that I'll be going into in this video. Now, the first way that you can use it for communicating better with your client is to draft your emails using ChatGPT. And to take it a step further, if you are responding to emails as your client, is you can tap ChatGPT or give ChatGPT examples of how your client usually responds to emails, and then learn it, and then be able to have ChatGPT give you back a example or the response as if it was writing as your client. So that's just a quick and easy one that I've seen so many people do and so many people use, yet so many people don't know how to do it. And basically the process is just grabbing the last 5 emails of your client. It would be even better if it's the same kind of question that your client gets and then they've responded to it a billion times, that there's a template. So then you can have just one kind of ChatGPT thread just responding to that same message over and over again. And again, it is in your client's voice or even in your voice as you're responding to that. Next is you can use AI to summarize client meetings, which again, there's been so many tools out there kind of doing this already. But for you as the assistant, as an employee, you can take this a little bit further by having kind of a repository of all the meetings you've had with the client or the client's clients, and have kind of one ChatGPT thread that keeps a record of everything that's been discussed, things that need to be discussed in the future, and any other to-dos as well. So what you can do is you can use, and I'll use ChatGPT as an example, you can use ChatGPT and you have that one thread where you keep updating it every single time that your client has a meeting, or if you've had a meeting with your client. That way, again, you just have one ChatGPT thread that has every single meeting that you've done, and then you can ask it questions or to summarize or to ask like, hey, what we're supposed to get done before the next meeting. You can have that clarity. Next is you can use it to translate complex ideas into something that's just simpler. And I use this all the time with myself. I do have the page ChatGPT where I can talk to ChatGPT when my brain feels all messy and loud. And I can ask like, hey, can you simplify this concept or idea that I have? I want to make this a little bit easier. And it's the same thing for you and your client, is that anytime that they have a complex idea that they can't seem to break down for you, you can have AI or ChatGPT do that, where they just type out or say what it is that they're struggling with, and then be able to ask the AI of like, can you simplify that? Can you get me, the action steps for that? So you can have AI kind of as your second brain, as your assistant in making sure that very complex ideas or things that are just a rough idea can be made into a reality using AI. Next is being able to predict your client's needs or moves based on those past meetings. So remember earlier I said you can use ChatGPT as kind of a repository or kind of a way to remember past meetings. You can then ask ChatGPT later on like, oh, based on the meeting 6 weeks ago, what do you think my client would need this week? So you can have kind of, again, that memory bank using ChatGPT or using the AI, where you can train it to give you like, hey, this week I think this is what you should be doing based on the meeting that you had 6 months ago. Or hey, your client mentioned a year ago, depending on how far back your meeting kind of files are, to give you an idea of what you could be refocusing on or what you can bring back from the past to something that they wanted to do. So you can use ChatGPT or AI in general to help kind of predict what needs to be done next. Next is you can use AI when it comes to creating things like your weekly reports or briefs, just to make it easier for you and your client to make sure that nothing falls through the cracks. You can go back and ask ChatGPT like, hey, what got done this week? Or hey, based off of the meetings, what needs to be the priority this week because it got done last week. So you can have that back and forth with AI of, again, being something that remembers things better than a human can, which is how you use AI as a tool. And you are basically kind of creating a way for you to make sure that nothing gets forgotten and anything that needs to be highlighted is highlighted. Next is you can then use that to create your client notes or ways to kind of keep a more text or visual representation of what was talked about, what needs to be talked about, or anything else that was raised as a red flag. It's a quick and easy way to also, if you're a project management virtual assistant, be able to recall anything else that was discussed that you guys wanted to work on, any feedback that needs to be talked about, or as well as any planning that needs to get done as well. Next is, of course, you can use ChatGPT when it comes to proofreading and just checking for grammar. A little bit faster than if you had to do it, especially again, as someone who does have English as a third and fourth language. It wasn't, I learned a lot of other dialects before I really learn and master English. So having ChatGPT or AI just check before I send an email or a DM to someone, just double check my work. Then it just helps kind of give that confidence that I am sending something that is clear for them. And of course, one of the cooler ways that you are using communication with AI and improving that is it does help you sound a little bit smarter and also gives you feedback on how you can do that as well. As a really funny example is for me, in my head, I think I'm very funny. I'm hilarious in my head. But sometimes I don't hit the punchline right away or I don't deliver it in the best way. And because I'm conversing with AI and I'm teaching AI my style of humor, when I am writing Facebook or LinkedIn posts and I have AI doing it, it makes me sound smarter and also helps me communicate better with my audience. And that kind of honestly is the coolest thing. It's like in my head, I have this really funny joke, but I have no idea how to deliver it clearly. And basically my writer AI helps me to be able to do that. So then of course I sound better than I do in my head. So it helps me improve as well my own vocabulary and how I deliver in real life and videos like this in my talks. It helps me deliver that because AI is basically teaching me how to do it and how to do it with a little bit more confidence than I usually would. Learning how to communicate has been so much easier with AI. And basically, like I said in the beginning of the video, I have this client where back and forth when we're communicating, she talks to me technically in German. She sends me documents in German. I translate it with ChatGPT, work on it on English, and then send it back to her in German. And usually 9 out of 10 times, it's a very clear and easy communication back and forth. And it's just AI giving me that power to be able to work with her in the best way. And it's the same thing for a lot of our executive assistants at 2XU, where they're using AI to be able to communicate with a client who is not in the same space, not in the same language realm even, and being able to have a little bit of a clearer relationship building as well through communication. Now, if you guys like this video, make sure to hit the thumbs up button right there. Comment below any questions you might have or any examples of how you've used ChatGPT when it comes to your communications. And if you still haven't yet, make sure to hit the subscribe button right there so you don't miss any of my videos every Sunday and Thursday on how to work from home and how to do business from home, which you guys can check out those two playlists right here and the latest video right here. Hope you guys have an amazing day and with that small steps matters. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye!